All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Green White Checker TV. Tonight we have the second to last race of the Superspeedway series, and we are here tonight at iRacing Superspeedway. It's about a 3-mile track. Speed's going to be up in the 240 range, and pit road is going to be very critical. Hit your entries and the exits. There's a very, very difficult pit road, probably one of the most difficult, I feel like, in iRacing. Let's say, because again, you're going at about 240, then you got to get it down all the way to 65 miles an hour. So before we kick everything off, we're going to go over our points for tonight. And right now, Gabe Butler has a 19-point lead over Todd Siebels with his 2 wins in the playoff. He's really been picking it up over the course of this playoff, so he's in a really good position. Like I said, obviously he's had 2 good races, but you still got 2 more to go to try to finish this thing off. Behind him, you got Todd Siebels, 19 out, then Dean Wilkinson, another 9 out, or 28 out of the lead. And then you got Raymond Rittenauer there in 4th. Then you got Kevin Hash, Eric Laurie, Charles Johnson, Kevin Fries, and Dale Willoughby. A handful of drivers not making it this evening as well. So right now I think it's going to be pretty much a 4-horse race with Gabe, Todd, Dean, and Raymond. And then Eric in that 5th spot. I think Eric also probably a little bit in the dark horse position, but never count that 071 out as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. This is probably one of the more treacherous of the super speedway side of things. Luckily enough, I'm able to bring my buddy Matt Wagner back in the booth with me as well. So Matt, I know you've been kind of hanging out a little bit. It's obviously you're pretty familiar with these guys, running with them a lot last season. But yeah, I mean, this track, it's its own animal. I mean, what are you going to be trying to keep an eye out for with these guys tonight?
I'll be looking out for the Gabe Butler. Stick with him. I seem like he is pretty much the guy to beat. I've been following the series throughout the whole entire season. Still what he does.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been a bit of a monster. Obviously the team game goes a long ways as well, and so I'd say that's going to be I wouldn't say a deficit tonight, but he's going to have a little less help than he might be used to having around him. So I mean, he's going to have Eric Laurie still in the 071. He's going to have the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. And then also the 3 of Bobby Hash. But other than that, I think that's about it. So I think just the 4 of them tonight, so that could put a little bit of an advantage to some of the competition. But I think this track, more than any, is going to be all about that pit entry and exit. I think that's going to be a make or break should we get into that cycle. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And then, Matt, we got a very important question from one of the most successful Area 51 drivers of Larry Yingling. He wants to know, chocolate milk or orange juice?
I go with chocolate milk. Gotta take that calcium in.
All right, so yeah, I have to do the same. I have to go with that chocolate milk just because I'm pretty sure I have some sort of an allergy to oranges or orange juice or something like that. So, yeah. So say you got two chocolate milk answers on your side here, Larry. And I hope you're not focusing too much on that. You better be getting some laps in if you want to have a chance against Ryan there on Thursday, because he's been beaten up on you guys. No, Dale. Virgin daiquiris, not screwdrivers. With that, though, I believe qualifying has just completed. So we're going to see what our qualifying order is for this evening. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a new face on the front here. Not a surprise, but not the usuals we're used to seeing up front, though. And that is going to be the number 2 of Todd Merkel on pole position tonight by basically 0.015 seconds over Gabe Butler. Then you got Eric Laurie 3rd, Raymond Rittenauer in 4th. In 5th, you got Vicente Guerrero, Mark Mastrella in 6th, Nick Manfredi, Dean Wilkinson, Michael Spell. Also good to see Skylar Brown back on tracks. You got Tom Pritchard in the 21. I believe this might be his first race over here as well. Then you got Mark Brown, father of Skylar Brown, in 12th. So we'll keep an eye out for those 2 for sure. And then remainder of the field here. Again, missing a few drivers here, unfortunately, but then you've got Jim Brooks there in 13th. Then you got Jay Hilliard, Bobby Hash, Bud Steele, Todd Siebels, and Dave Thatcher are going to be the 18 drivers taking part. I know a few drivers are just unfortunately had some work commitments or just weren't able to make it tonight, so unfortunately they won't be here this evening. And I know a couple of drivers also under the weather, so hope you all get better soon. Look forward to seeing you hopefully for the finale next week at Talladega. And Dean, good luck to you as well, sir. So I know you're in that points battle, so I'll say no mercy. Let's see what you can do. Try to cut that gap down to that one machine. All right, Matt. So you're going to keep an eye on that one car tonight. Sounds like I think he's going to be your one to watch. I'm torn on who I think is going to be. I'm trying to think of on a dark horse side of things. Dean Wilkinson, he's kind of been one of my and Dale's favorites in that 55 machine. We always enjoy watching him make some big moves, and say with him getting that win a few weeks ago. I think that 10 car, that's actually that Taco Bell machine, a really good looking paint scheme there. I think he might be the dark horse for tonight because he hasn't raced a lot this season. But if it's either on the Superspeedway side, if it's on the or on the Premier Series side, he's been very fast throughout the season. So I'm going to be trying to keep an eye out on that 10 of Skylar Brown. I think he might be one to kind of shake things up a little bit from some of our usual drivers up front.
If we're going to pick a dark horse driver, I'm going to go with the 6 of Bud Steele.
Yeah, Bud, a good option. He always likes to work on his alternate strategies. And this is going to be one, too. Again, I think the pit strategy is going to be very critical here, and that's usually where Bud really kind of shines, I feel like, especially in that 6 car, because he's really good at kind of going with an alternate strategy and really sticking to it and doing well. So, yeah, it'll be fun to see what Bud's got going on here tonight as well. I think he's going to be also trying to work with some of his teammates to get them all up in contention for that win tonight. But looking at the teammate side of things, we're also we don't have the Dale Cup guys here tonight like we did last week. So that's going to shake things up a little bit as well. So the ones I'm watching, they're all bundled together. Are those 3, the 1, the 071, and the 87, starting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I think they could definitely do some damage here if they can get lined up together.
I hear a lot of guys shutting the car on and off before we go green.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to save every little bit you can. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think the fuel window is going to be a little shorter here than at Daytona Talladega. I think it's going to be in most likely the low 20 mark. I think maybe 2021 at the most. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out tonight. But it's going to be that 2 of Todd Merkel leading the field here to the green. Todd, I think, again, he's one that has been really good at the qualifying over here with these Xfinity cars. As a green flag comes out, and you see there a little bit of tire spin from all the drivers that are trying to get the throttle down as we are under green here at iRacing Superspeedway. Again, 75 laps is the scheduled race distance. So usually here you pretty much want to be on that inside line getting up to speed. It's usually always easily the quickest way around. But you can see right off the bat, though, that one car in the 87, they're locked on very solidly with one another. So you talk about drivers being comfortable pushing with one another. It is going to be that 1 and 87 as they go into turn number 3 for the first time side by side. But right now, Todd Merkel just a nose ahead here, but we'll see what kind of speed the 1 can get off the exit. I think it's going to be a drag race to the line to lead this first lap.
Yeah, the top lane, you got about 4, 5, 6 guys well organized on the top. I think they should make their way around. Oh, there they go to the bottom.
Yeah, you see there, yeah, Gabe and Raymond both able to clear that 2 of Todd Merkel, so Gabe able to lead that first lap. Again, another bonus point for that 1 car. Didn't get pole position, so doesn't get that one. That's going to go to that 2 car. But yeah, so right now those are, again, that's going to be exactly what he needs to do. We mentioned obviously the points going into this one tonight. His closest competitor is that 45 of Todd Siebel's. Right now, Todd's just kind of playing defense right now. He's in a little bit further back there in the 45 car, pretty much the last car in this lead pack as we speak. And then Dean Wilkinson, the other one in the 55 machine, who he's up in the 3rd spot right now, pushing the 19 car of Mark Mastrella right now, trying to get himself up to the front. And it looks like Mark might just have enough to clear in-ring turn number 1. Oh, Dean Wilkinson very tight there. Just going to squeeze ahead of that 1 car. He's actually going to go from the 2nd car on the top side to the 1st car in that inside row.
Yeah, I think he let him in there just to be safe.
Yeah, probably a little early to make big moves. And as we say that, though, here goes Gabe. He's going to actually work the middle here. He's going to move to the top in front of that 19 car now. We'll see if Gabe Butler, he's going to try to work the outside. He's got the 19 now behind him. Raymond Rittenauer behind the 55, so we'll see how they're able to shake things out a little bit. And we talked about that number 10 car, Skylar Brown. He's right up there now in that 3rd car on the outside line. And yeah, look at that big move by Gabe. Was able to get to the top. He gets back to the front at the start-finish line. actually able to keep that number 55 of Dean Wilkinson from leading the lap that last time around.
Yeah, bottom field, well organized. Oh, they're going to leave the 19 out to dry.
Yeah, so right now everybody's kind of jockeying for position. Oh, they're going to leave
That's
Skylar out. Yeah, Skylar's getting hung out there. You see him on the top side. You got the 19 and the 3 lined up together here. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Skylar. Made some good progress early, but he's dropping straight back after that, unfortunately. As now here goes the 55 Dean Wilkinson, trying to make a late move, see if he can sneak around to get the lead or get the lap led there. I think it still went to the 1 car though, but now Dean definitely starting to pick up some help behind him.
There goes the 19 straight to the back. I left him out to dry.
Yeah, you see everybody's getting very dicey here down the backstretch. So you see Eric Laurie, he's hopped to the top. 87 Raymond Rittenauer, he's done the same. And with that, that's moved Dean Wilkinson now back to the inside here. Oh, touches the apron a little bit there in 3s, trying to get it collected. You see everybody jockeying for a position, trying to give each other room. And it looks like they're all going to make it very close quarters there, but good reaction by all the drivers there. But it's going to be Raymond Rittenauer with a big push from Eric Laurie, who he's going to now get to the front. And they're both, see if they can both clear or not. I think Eric's close, and he will get there. So now move the 87 and the 071 now to the front with Gabe Butler in 3rd. And we mentioned that 3rd teammate making a move on the top side as well. The 3 of Bobby Hash isn't quite in a spot to do anything with it. As again, now Eric's going to peek to the top here. Now he's going to get a good push from Gabe as they're going to work their way around their teammate of Raymond Rittenauer. So I'll say right now, 2 of the 4 of them, I should say, have had some bonus points, which again, that's going to be something you want to see here. So this is now the 071 of Eric Laurie's turn, Matt. If he can get a good push here off the 4 down the front stretch, Eric Laurie should get a lap led as well.
Yeah, I see what Raymond Rittenauer is doing, trying to let Bobby Hash in there. Gabe Butler. Good strategy.
Yeah, it is. And say
up front.
Yeah, say now they line up the front 4 spots on the inside row. So I mean that's a good spot to be in, especially when you got teammates behind you. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff about those cars behind you. But I say you're going to have to worry about the outside line, as it's going to be now Jay Hilliard working the top here in that 59 machine, with help from that 19 again of Mark Mastrella, and then you've got the 14 of Vicente Guerrero. But again, we talk about organization week in and week out, Matt, and you can just see how well organized the inside line is compared to the outside.
Oh yeah, you guys keep it tight.
And look how far back the 59's dropped back now. I say now it's Mark Brown actually on the inside line, the 6th car in line, I believe it is. And he's bringing his son Skylar with him. So these would be 2 I would watch to see here. Maybe we'll see, does Mark make a move to the top? Does he bring the 10 with him? Or do they maybe decide, you know what, we're just going to cruise here. We're in a pretty comfortable spot as things run. So right now, looks like they're pretty committed to the inside line right now. So everybody's holding really steady here. You also brought in Nick Monfretti into the mix. Michael Spells right there. So yeah, so unfortunately that 59 was going for about the 5th spot. He's fallen back to outside the top 10 now, just for that one move, let's say, where they just weren't able to stay lined up very well.
We get some people to line up behind Buzz Steele and try to push him to the lead. My dark horse pick.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of help now. He's got, again, that 19 car. Marcus has been pretty much completely committed to running the second groove all race long. It seems like if anybody's been up there, he'll go with them. Say they brought the 14 along, but it looks like now, say they're going to possibly pick up the 87 of Raymond Rittenauer. A little surprised to see Raymond drop off the inside row there, but as they say that though, they're actually going to put him 3 wide here. Say that's going to be a tough position to be in. You saw the 59 just catch the apron a little bit there. He had to chase it up the track. But you saw everybody giving plenty of room to make sure that there was no contact with that. But while the leaders are single file, these guys running 3 wide here. That's really slowing down their lap times right now.
Could be possible that he burned too much fuel and he's dropping back to save.
It's possible. I've just, actually almost contact now between the 19 and Raymond. Say Raymond's definitely in a pretty tight position here a couple times now through the turns. I say these cars getting a little wide on the exits of these turns and even in the center. So yeah, Ray's in a tough position right now. So he's gonna have to try to find someone to roll in here. Might be able to fall in behind the 21 of Tom Pritchard. We'll see if he's able to do that or not. there he gets the opening. He's going to drop back in. So, but yeah, Ray was in the top 3, top 4, and he's dropped all the way back to 12th now. Again, not sure where this, maybe, may have missed something that made him fall to the back there. Not 100% sure. But I mean, up front though, these top 3, they're staying pretty much single file here, and nobody really wanting to challenge him at this point in the race, with Eric Laurie still leading the way.
Could be possible picking up the 21 car. I'm not familiar with this person.
Oh, I see someone smoking in the back there. Oh, Mark Mastray, I think he blew a motor, Matt. I don't know, might have some damage. Let me see if I can try to find what happened to Mark here. We're going to go back a little bit. So we're going to pick it up here and go full speed again, watching that 19 car. I wonder if he actually may have had some contact that put him into the wall, but so that motor did pop in his machine, so...
No, he had contact with the outside wall.
Oh, yeah, the 14 actually washed up into him, and surprisingly, that's enough to pop the motor. Really didn't expect that there. Huge... I'd say bad luck for the 19. The 14 as well also is involved. He's hit pit road now. So we'll jump back live real quick to show you as there's a 14 on pit road, the 19 coming in as well. So that's going to drop them at least 1 lap down, as we'll now jump back to our leaders here. Looks like they've kind of singled filed, pretty much kind of got a low line train here, honestly, right now through the front half of the field.
Yeah, tough break for Vincent and Mark there. It's unfortunate. Hopefully they'll catch a caution and get him back on the lead lap.
Yeah, I mean, that's what right now is that's exactly what they need. They need to catch some sort of a break. So the only thing though is right now both having a really slow pit stop. So I'm not sure actually now the 19 looks like actually they're both coming out of pit road now. I believe actually coming out together. So that's going to be critical for them as well to not lose too much time. But again, this is also going to be that lucky dog battle as things currently run. But right now, so already on lap number 13 of 75, and yeah, you can see right now it's pretty much Eric Laurie here, just kind of leading the train here down the backstretch back into 3, coming to lap number 14. So say these 3 have been able to really kind of control that inside line. I think just nobody's really ready to make that big push to the outside yet. So while things are calm real quick, Matt, we're going to run through the field real quick here. So we got right now Eric Laurie in that 071 as our race leader. Behind him, our championship leader currently, the 1 of Gabe Butler. In the 3rd spot is the 3 of Bobby Hash. I say Bobby's been having some computer issues. Nice to see him be able to get those resolved and be back out on track. In 4th, we got Todd Merkel, as my cat apparently wants to be part of the interview process as well. Todd Merkel in the 4th position. Mark Brown in 5th in that 73. And then in 6th, you've got his son Skylar Brown there. 7th is Nick Monfretti. Then Jay Hilliard in the 8th position. I'll say new to the league, I believe, though, that number 21 of Tom Pritchard won't be hard to catch that car on track here compared to the other guys. And you got Raymond Rittenauer in the 10th position, again, dropping back from where he was a little earlier. And then in 11th is the 88 of Michael Spell. Kind of got a lot of green and black cars here at the back section. You got Jim Brooks right behind him in the Area 51 machine. But we mentioned Bud Steele, your dark horse pick for tonight. He runs in 13th. Todd Siebel's second in points coming into tonight in the 45. He is 14th. Another green and black car of Dave Thatcher in 15th. And right now, last car on the lead lap. And on the tail end of this lead pack right now is that 55 of Dean Wilkinson. And we got pit stops happening very quickly. A lot of cars hopping in here. Oh, we got a lot of trouble on pit road here. Trying to see who all was involved. I think we'll have to go back and take a look at that because it looked like there was a lot of cars caught up in that one. So let's go back here and try to get a better look. Apologies for that. So we're trying to keep an eye on everything that was going on around here. Here we go. So we're going to start with Eric Laurie. We'll pick the speed up here and then we'll slow it down. Oh, you see the 3 of Bobby Hash all out of control there, unfortunately. Oh, heavy impact to the inside wall. You see that looks like also the 10 car gets caught from behind, I think possibly by Jay Hilliard. But then you see also Mark Brown, he takes a really big hit, as does Skylar there. So, and then Raymond Rittenauer, he catches the inside wall as well, trying to avoid contact. So I think, oh, even the 2 of Todd Merkel, he catches the inside wall a little bit. So basically all but 2 cars pretty much getting damaged from this first set of pit stops here. As I say, apologies, my cat's climbing all over me here. But we're going to jump back live because I know there's another set of pit stops going on now, Matt. And that's going to be led, it looks like, by Tom Pritchard here. And so he's got Michael Spell with him, Nick Manfredi, Jim Brooks, Jay Hilliard, Bud Steele, and Todd Siebels. All right, now it's going to leave us now to the one of Dean Wilkinson. He hits pit road. He's going to bring Dave Thatcher along with him. So right now that is our group right now that are finishing up the pit cycles. So we'll have to see where everybody comes out, Matt. But that was definitely a very, very crazy pit road cycle there for multiple drivers.
Oh, it's not as treacherous as Dover. That is probably the worst pit road ever. Speaking of that, here comes 55.
Yeah, honestly, I almost compare this track to kind of a Dover on steroids, if you will. So I say we're going to jump back up front, though, because it looks like with everything cycled through here now, it's going to be Tom Pritchard that's going to take the point in this one. He's got, let's say, we talked about the dark horse picks right now. So you got Bud Steele right there behind him in second. Jim Brooks able to cycle through as well nicely in that third spot. And then I believe Jay Hilliard, he should be close enough to be able to get back to their draft as well. So that's going to give 4 drivers all together. But the 2 I'm going to be watching as well, though, are going to be that 55 of Dean Wilkinson, Dave Thatcher. And you can already see they've already worked away by Dave. Now it's they're coming up quickly on Dean Wilkinson. And you see there that he's still building speed here, going through the gears, and there they go. And here comes Gabe Butler trying to chase them down as well in that one machine. And there goes Eric Laurie in the 071. But it looks like he might be able to pull in right behind the 88 here, stay in the top 10. So a great job, though, for going that extra lap to be able to do so. So right now we're a little strung out here. It looks like a couple different groups of cars at the moment.
Okay, he was able to stay with that draft. I was a little bit worried there for him.
So right now we got basically, 3-4 packs of cars. So we got the top 4 here all together. With Tom Pritchard, Bud Steele, Jim Brooks, Jay Hilliard. I'll say Tom obviously showing that he knows exactly what he needs to do in these races. And then you got Gabe Butler there. He's got Eric Laurie starting to catch him, as well as the 80 to Michael Spell. And so I'm going to watch lap times, but I believe Gabe is close enough to pick up the draft of Jay Hilliard. So I think he's going to be able to pull right back into these top 4. And let's say the next group, like I said, Dean Wilkinson looks like he's just going to tag on to them. I'll say Nick. Then you got Todd Siebels and Nick Manfredi. They need to get single filed here. There they go. They do. And then I'll say some of those drivers that we saw have a little bit of issue in the pit stop cycle. Namely the 87 Raymond Rittenauer. He is right on the edge of catching these guys, but you can see a little bit of left front damage. Opted not to take the fast repair there. However, I think Skylar Brown and Bobby Hash, I think they had no choice there, but they had to take those fast repairs. And then the ones that really lost out the worst, unfortunately, are the 2 of Todd Merkel and then the 73 of Mark Brown, who are both out of the draft right now.
Don't forget about Vincent and Mark.
Yep.
During that pit cycle, they put them back on the lead lap.
That's true. Yeah, they're right now back on the lead lap here. They can go. They pitted about 4 laps earlier than the leaders. I don't know if that puts them in the same pit cycle or not, but it is a good point. And right now they are still working together, so they will eventually pick up Mark Brown. But I say here goes Gabe Butler, though. Big head of steam working around. Oh, we got contact. Jay Hilliard around, going backwards through the banking there. That's going to bring out the yellow.
Oh, that's the caution they needed.
That was the perfect break for that 14 and 19 car. It's also a huge break for those that lost the draft. So a lot of drivers are going to be very thankful for that yellow. Say obviously not Jay Hilliard so much, but yeah, so a big break for them. So let's go back and see what happened here to Jay Hilliard to bring out this caution. All right, so we're looking at the 59 car, the 4th car on the outside line here. Oh yeah, looks like the 20. Oh, actually, just really, really bad net code is what we can boil that one down to, unfortunately. So we'll go back and we'll look at it again here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But there was a big gap between those 2 cars, but unfortunately, say netcode decided that they were close enough apparently.
Wow, that's quite a bit of gap there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find a better angle here. We'll go behind the car so you can see here. But you see the 21 there, you see the 59, you see the gap between them, and yeah, I mean there's feet of space between the two of them. Oh, but I'll also look at say I'm gonna pull a I forgot his name now. Some championship implications, though, if you will. Though Dean Wilkinson, he got a piece of that as well, though, Matt. So that's going to take away any bonus points that Dean might be able to get from having a clean car, unfortunately. So for Dean, that's going to be a tough break. He's also going to have damage, of course, too, which is another thing he's going to have to deal with. But that does bring the caution out. They're all lining up here behind the pace car, entering turn number 3 and 4. I think we will probably see drivers pit. I don't think Gameway's going to stay out here. I think you're going to see drivers, take a splash of fuel. You might see some opposite strategies, but I think we'll see probably the whole field here hit pit road.
I expect to see Gabe with just fuel only here.
Yeah, I think you're going to see most of those that pit fuel only. And here goes Mr. Opposite, Bud Steele, though. You see him on the track. He stays out, and I think he's the only driver to stay out. That's going to be a lonely feeling for that number 1 car. Or number 6 car, I'm sorry.
I would have came down pit road, just personally.
Yeah, I think if you're in second position, you just take that splash of fuel and go. And you see Gabe. Actually, no, Gabe's going to opt to take tires here. So going a little bit off strategy here, maybe compared to some of the others. And it looks like 4 tires, actually, for the 1 car. Maybe taking the tires now while you can. And don't worry about the 4 during green flag pit stop. So I think that's actually maybe a really good call. And even better for Gabe is the fact that he's only going to lose 2 spots out of all of that. Go from being in first position to coming out in third. So I think that's a great pit call for that 1 car. And also, of course, a great pit stop as well. Same thing for Eric Laurie. He's done the same. And so, yeah, so they're going to be now with fresh tires and fuel. Bud Steele, he's going to have to basically, he's been out for about 6 laps since his pit stop. So he's going to have to hope he can kind of do some convincing for some teammates or someone to work with him. Because right now he's going to have to pit pretty much earlier than anybody else if this thing stays green.
Or if he's going to try his, well, if he was going to stay out just to lead a lap.
Yeah, but the thing is, I believe with the way these tracks work is they have the quick yellows if they're 2 miles or larger. So I don't think he's going to have the opportunity to be able to pit this time. I think the pit's closed for them. I mean, we'll keep an eye and see if maybe it doesn't in this case or not. The drivers that did pit, though, they can come in and top off. You see right now the 1 is looking like he wants to. And indeed, they're going to the 1, the 071, the 55. So we're going to have a lot of drivers here now topping off here on the 1 to go. Jim Brooks, he's staying out, as is Skylar Brown. So we're going to have a mixed bag also on the top-off side of things. And a few drivers also, of course, need to mention, Matt, use that caution to really get some damage fixed. Raymond Rittenauer is one of those. You can still see a little bit of left front damage out of his machine, but he's going to save that fast repair to later in the race. Todd Merkel, I think maybe still a little bit of damage as well, but I think he also, he had a long pit stop trying to get his damage repaired. And then Nick Manfredi as well. You can see the left front damage there as well. So, I'll say a lot of drivers trying to get some damage repairs done to their cars. Save that fast repairs. We know how critical those are.
Yeah, Todd shouldn't be that bad. It's just on the rear. It's the front we definitely got to worry about.
Yeah, usually, it's the front. The front's always where you have to be very careful about. So you see everybody starting to line up 2 by 2 here again to get ready for this restart. So those that topped off, though, are going to start off with the 1, so we saw him hit pit road. So you got the 1, the 071, the 45, the 55, as well as the 420 and the 3 all topping off there to get a little extra fuel in their cars. But again, on that yellow, though, Matt, everybody pitted except for that 6 of Bud Steele. And it looks like, Matt, we got to do a special shout out to Favorite Son, who's in the YouTube chat tonight. Unfortunately, not able to make the start of the race. I'll say if he did, he'd be about a third of the race laps down. So I don't think he's going to be able to make it into this one tonight. But appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. I see you found some of your friends to be able to kind of have some fun with us. It's pretty chatty over there on YouTube. So always appreciate you guys being a part of things here. So. That said, man, though, here comes the pace car. It's going to duck off. It's going to put it into the hands of Bud Steele, and he has control over this restart, so he can drop and go whenever he wants to. But right now, it looks like he's going to wait for that green flag, and we are down and away. Again, you see a little bit of tire spin from those guys. However, a great start on the 14 of Vicente Guerrero gets straight to the outside of Michael Spell. Might even be able to clear him by the time they enter turn number 1. He will.
Oh, the 51 just caught the apron right there. Slow, stacked up that field right behind him.
Yeah, really stacked up that inside line, but looks like everybody's going to get away with it. But right now the driver on a mission is that 14 car, Vicente Guerrero. He's going to jump straight to the outside of Bud Steele in that 6 car. You see Michael Spell. He's going to try to hop in and, I believe, help his teammate. However, Jay Hilliard, we've seen Jay, he really wants to try to move to the front of this race. But it's going to be Vicente that gets the lead entering turn number 1, and he's going to have some drafting help behind him. Unfortunately for Jay, there's nobody behind him. That 59 car looks like he's going to wind up dropping straight back. But that 14 car, though, Matt, he got a huge restart, and he's going to take advantage of it and get the lead here as we just cross line 26 of 75.
It's going to get a big push by Bud Steele. If I were Bud, I would try to save as much fuel as possible just to stay up front.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. I think if you're the 6 car, you got to try to save as much as you can. But the thing is, in the position he's in right now, he's not really going to be able to save. I mean, you can see right now he's basically pushing that 14 car down the backstretch. He really needs to be in the position where the 88 or the 51 are. That's where I think that's really where you can save the most fuel throughout these races. And you can see that damage to the rear of Todd Merkel's car, like you had mentioned, Matt. That's not going to be too bad for him. He should be okay, like you mentioned about that. It's that front damage. Actually, the 51 of Jim Brooks, he's got a little bit of right rear damage as well. So a lot of cars having some contact, I'm guessing, through the pit stop cycle most likely. So a lot of guys, and we talked about those bonus points for a clean race car. There's going to be a lot of drivers probably with some incident points that'll basically not let them get those extra 3 points, I believe it is.
I got my eye on 2 drivers right now, Gabe Butler and Eric Laurie.
Yeah, they're moving their way to the top. We saw them top off on that one to go. It looks like they're going to lock back on together like they did earlier and shove their way to the front. But now the question is anybody going to be trying to get in front of them? I see the 19 car, Mark Mastrella, try to be the one to see if he could lead that outside line. But Gabe just moves up a little bit extra, basically move up an extra lane there. However, you can see he's really, you see it again, more net code between the 70.
He's in the wall.
He's going to keep it straight for the moment. Problem now is, let's say we stay green. That was some heavy contact for Erica. I think it was another situation of really bad net code there. So unfortunately for Eric, he's going to lose his lose his drafting partner. I say it's also an issue there for the 1 car. But yeah, just we saw those couple cars kind of run the middle there, and unfortunately, I say just that we saw net code on that first caution. It was a little bit of net code again. But you could see, though, it looked like Eric and Gabe were just a little bit squeezed there entering turn number 1, I should say. And yeah, just unfortunately, just everything went wrong that could have gone wrong there for Eric. So the other thing to mention here is we've actually got a little bit of a few drivers off the back of the pack here. You've got the 420 of Dave Thatcher. He's got Dean Wilkinson, Nick Manfredi, and Bobby Hash. They're all about 2 seconds off of Todd Siebel's in front of them. So they really need to try to get their speed back together here. I think it looks like Todd Siebel's, yeah, he's going to be able to tag onto the back of these guys. But what this has really done, though, is it's really got rid of any help for some of these guys like Gabe Butler. He's trying to work the third line kind of on his own here. Now he's going to pick up his teammate Raymond Rittenauer. But again, Raymond's got a little bit of nose damage to that car. I think also the 10 of Skylar Brown actually may have opted not to get his damage repaired. Also, you can see some nose damage to his car as well. So I'd say this race is really jumbled up here as we're on lap number 30 of 75. So not quite at halfway, but yeah, a lot of stuff happening this last couple of laps. And do need to mention Eric Laurie. He did hit pit road there, opted to get that fast repair. I think he pretty much had to. But that is, so we mentioned that's going to put him, he is now 1 lap down. It's going to stay 1 down for the moment. So yeah, he's going to have to hope, of course, for another yellow to put himself in a decent position.
It must be pretty bad nose damage for Raymond because he's having a hard time getting to the back of Gabe there.
Yeah, at this point.
Gabe's in the wall.
Oh, you're right, Gabe. Way too high there in 1 and 2. Trying to see, looks like he's got, yeah, definitely some right side damage to his car. I said, not sure, was that some net code there, or was that just him kind of just washing up there?
It looks like he just washed up right up the track.
So we'll go back and try to take a look here from the one car. So we're watching the one here. Gabe Butler's right behind the 21. Yeah, just lost the entry there. You're right. It's like, I don't think he hit it too hard, but definitely a little bit of damage. I'll say, well, the other problem though, again, though, is he's losing the draft now. These guys in front of him, so now he's in a tough spot. I think you see right now, I think Raymond's rolling back to try to pick him up. So there's unfortunately everything kind of unraveling for these guys these last couple of laps right now. But I say that the thing they have going for them is that if they can get locked on together with each other, maybe pick up the 3 of Bobby Hash as well. I think that's going to be their best bets here, because you can see they've actually been able to sneak away from some of those cars behind as well. So it's really all, yeah, it's very mixed up right now. So we'll jump back up front though for the moment here, as it's still been that 14 car pretty much. Once he got the lead, he's just been setting pace here. Nobody really wanting to make any moves behind that 14.
That's a mistake usually I don't see Gabe do, and that is like rare.
And I think that's just iRacing Superspeedway. I mean, it's a track that will catch the best of drivers out. Let's say it's basically a 240 mile an hour paperclip. If you look at the track map of it, I mean, it's almost like a Martinsville shape-wise, but yeah, say with a lot of speed and a lot of banking. So say if you miss that entry point, especially when you're running the top side, it's very easy to wash up into the outside line. So I'll say again, Duty mentioned the 1 and the 87, they have locked on together. So again, try to minimize any time lost. I'd be curious to see if they try to pick up the 3 of Bobby right now. It looks like they're going to stay with just one another. So I'm going to watch their lap times and see how they are able to compare with the leaders. Because right now up front is starting to get a little dicey again here. You see Jay Hilliard, he's got some help again finally. He's got Skylar Brown. They're going to try to make something happen. He's got Mark Brown to his inside, Todd Merkel on the inside as well. So 3 wide there, a little bit towards about 6 on back. But yeah, it's definitely getting busy again.
You know, one playoff driver we haven't talked about all day, and he's kept his nose clean the whole entire race. I'm looking at that 45 of Todd Siebels.
Yeah, and the other thing for Todd Siebels is, like you're talking about, he's one of the front runners as well. I think he's 3rd in points if I'm not mistaken. He's got Dean Wilkinson right behind him, just a few cars back. So I mean, Dean's still in this lead draft as well, so that's going to be a good opportunity for Dean as well. But you're right though, I don't think Todd has had anything crazy go on as of yet. Say knock on wood, hopefully no commentator's curse here for the 45 car. But I mean, again, that could be huge if he can get a 0 incident point race. That's 3 bonus points. That's going to bring them just that much closer. And do need to mention on the lap times here right now, Gabe and Raymond they don't have the speed that they need to compete with these guys up front. They're right now about 1.5 seconds or so roughly slower, as you see the 071 Eric Laurie just now getting put a lap down here. So say unfortunate for Eric, but here comes Bud Steele. We talked about that as well. He's hitting pit road all by himself here on lap number 36 now. Say nobody decided to go with him, so that's going to put Bud in a pretty difficult spot here, trying to keep up with the lead pack after the pit stop cycle is complete.
It'll be about 5 more laps till in front runners.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be really any short pitting here at iRacing Superspeedway, just because of the fact that if you pit, you're going to go a lap down. There's no way of getting around it. So what I am watching though right now is Eric Laurie. I actually honestly thought he would just drop back and try to kind of be the lead pusher for Raymond and Gabe, but I think right now he knows that he's got to right now fight a little bit to stay as that first car 1 lap down, because depending where Bud cycles out here, he might still be able to pick up the back of this lead draft. So I'm watching the 6 car. He's entering turn number 1 now. But these guys, of course, are going to be coming at him with a huge head of speed.
Yeah, it'd be tough for Laurie. He's 2 down as iRacing scoring.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's 2 laps down, so that might be what we're talking about there. Is he's probably trying to push to become 1 down, because right now, like with that being, now with that, me being aware of that, apologies. You're right. So now actually that lucky dog would be going to that 6 of Bud Steele. So yeah, so Eric actually, he needs to get to the front of this field here and then have a timely caution and be able to get one of those laps back. Do you mention pit stops are underway here? You see the 3, the 87, and the 1. They've all hit pit road together. Raymond just now leaving the pits, as does the 1, as does the 3. So I think they're pitting a little early here, as we're on lap 38 of 75. But then here comes the field one more time. I'll say is the 14 still leading the way here with the 71 of Eric Laurie trying to creep up there and see if he can get that lap back, which right now he's just about there, Matt.
It'll be very tough for him to get around the 14. But when they do pit, he's going to be all by his lonesome.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he's going to be in a tough spot once that pit stop does happen. Because he pitted on lap number 28 compared to 22, so he can go basically 6 more laps than the leaders can. But like you said, though, he'll be kind of stuck on his own here. So right now, still nobody else has decided to pit yet. So it's kind of a mixed bag of who's pitting when. Nick Manfredi, say he had a very long pit stop. Actually, I think he's just actually hit road now. I apologize. I saw a different timing scoring there. Not sure. But yeah, so that's going to put Nick in pit road as well. So right now we have a lot of drivers a lap or more down so far through this pit stop cycle. Right now 12 cars left on the lead lap. But I say if that 10 can get just a little closer to that 071 of Eric Laurie, though, as I think that might be able to push Eric to the front here.
We're probably going to expect the leaders to stand by.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm noticing that Skylar's really trying to drop off the back here, maybe trying to find an opening, probably right in front of his dad there in the 73 of Mark Brown. And yet here they come, just like you said, that 14 is going to lead a few. Oh, Michael Spell, he's going to hit the inside wall hard there. Oh. And you got other cars coming involved. The 19's in it, the 53 was in it, or 59 was in it as well. I think everybody else was able to sneak by there, but yeah, say 14 was able to be in front of that incident. But pit road has been very treacherous here tonight. You see the 19, the 88 with damage, the 59 with damage as well. So yeah, so we'll jump back now up to Todd Siebels, because we were just talking about him keeping this car clean. And I mean, right now, say he's leading this race. I believe he led that last lap as well, so that's a bonus point for Todd here. So, like you mentioned, though, Matt, I suspect we'll see them in very shortly.
It's a good thing Michael Spell saved that fast repair.
Yeah, exactly right. So right now, actually, you got Todd Siebels, Dave Thatcher, Dean Wilkinson. They're all staying out another lap here. They've been making great mileage out of their cars. So these are the top 3 that have yet to pit right now. Again, the 071 of Eric Laurie. He's off sequence. Let's say, unfortunately, he was involved in that incident and no caution came out, so he had to take a fast repair basically to get back into the battle here. As you can see, though, there go the leaders swinging on by the drivers that just pitted. But it looks like Jim Brooks is going to win the battle off of pit road for these guys, and he's going to cycle through right now in 6th position. But once I believe pit stops complete, might come through as a leader, so we'll keep an eye on him. And of course, once everybody gets cycled through, we're going to really want to watch pits lap times. Oh, another driver getting caught out, Dave Thatcher. He makes contact with the inside pit wall, and it looks like just the one car getting involved in that one.
Oh, they were pretty hot coming in pit road.
Yeah, we'll see if they got down to speed or not. Looks like so far all the pit stops, they haven't had no speeding penalties. We've seen lots of contact, however. So right now we're watching Skylar Brown. He's leaving pit road. Still got some nose damage to that 10 car. And then here comes Jim Brooks with that 2 of Todd Merkel with a big head of steam down the back. So right now, again, if the 51 can get around the 10 car, that would put him as our possibly as a race leader, I should say. But actually, it looks like Skylar's had a great pit exit, and for Eric Laurie, he's going to work his way around him. So right now, Eric Laurie is that 1 lap down, like we talked about, and I think if everything cycles through maybe just perfectly, Eric might actually be on the tail in the lead lap if he can get around those other 3 that just pitted.
Todd's in a lonely place by himself.
Yeah, he's trying to get his. Say the thing again, that apron on out of turn 1 and 2. You're very slow on the exit, but it's going to be Todd Siebels. He wins the race out of pit road in front of Dean Wilkinson, and we saw Dave Thatcher the contact. He's coming out now as well. But we mentioned Eric Laurie. Here he comes, a big head of steam in that 071 car. Although he's a bit of a sitting duck with Jim Brooks right behind him. But looks like for just a moment, Eric might have had a chance to get that back, be on the tail end of the lead lap. But as I say that, there goes those 2 around him. But so we'll see now. Right now, it looks like Jim Brooks, Todd Merkel are locked on pretty well to one another. But I don't know if they're going to quite get to that 45 of Todd Siebels.
And the field is really spread out right now.
Yeah, that it is. As you can see, there goes Jim. He's going to work around the 55 here, entering turn number 1. And he's going to complete that pass. Todd not quite clear, but you see Jim, he's going to opt to stay with his helper there in the 2 car. And now Todd's going to, well, actually, Jim's got to be careful. He's kind of forcing the 55 down to the apron. I'll say it was really close quarter there. I think Todd had to roll, or the 55 Dean Wilkinson had to roll out of it there to avoid contact. Actually, Jim's going to roll in behind the 45 of Todd Siebels. And you see Eric Laurie again kind of trying to find a way to get around these guys, just not able to do so, though. So he's going to stay right now as 1 lap down. But right now, the only car 1 lap down as well. So we'll let everybody get up to speed here, Matt. And I want to look at some speeds of our lead pack drivers right now. Because right now, the fastest cars on track look like it's going to be Dave Thatcher. He ran a 44.86, catching these guys up in front. But then some other drivers in the 44s. Not a surprise here is going to be the 1 of Gabe Butler, the 3 of Bobby Hash, 87 Raymond Rittenauer. Looks like they've all used the fast repair, and they are going somewhere right now. They're trying to get back to that lead pack right now. They are about 4 seconds off. Like I said last time by, they were about 2 seconds quicker.
What the drivers up front need to do, Todd Siebels, Jim Brooks, and Merkel, they need to get organized real quick, because those guys in the back of the pack are coming.
Yeah, so right now you got 4 cars on the inside row, 4 cars on the outside. Here comes the 14. He's going to run the middle. We've seen this end badly a little earlier. Hopefully it's not the case this time. It's close between Raymond there and Vicente, but they are able to stay off of one another. But yeah, this is the exact opposite of what these guys want to do, because they need to keep closing that gap if they can. But even with everything going on here, they were almost a second quicker again last time by. You see this down to just under 4 seconds right now, but I'll say these guys are getting very dicey up front, and this is going to be kind of a risk versus reward, because we saw it's already bitten some of these guys earlier. So it's getting a little hectic back here.
Getting a little dicey.
Yeah, exactly right. So now you see the 14. He's actually been able to get in front of these guys, but you can see they're still trying. Oh, Todd, you got the 87 squeezing with the 73 and the 21. Oh, contact, a little more contact. Oh, contact with the 14.
Oh, they saved it. Nice job.
Yep, they stay green somehow. Again, unfortunate for Eric Laurie, he just hit pit road when that contact came out. I was probably hoping that maybe that would be the yellow he needed. But yeah, you could see it was getting very aggressive there. I think probably a little bit of frustrations building from various drivers there. As here you see Eric Laurie just now leaving pit road in that 071. But up front, though, you can see these guys are pretty calm, cool, and collected here, with right now the 45 of Todd Siebels leading this group. And on the pit cycle side of things right now, it is Todd pitting on lap 41, Jim on 39, Todd on 39, then Dean and Dave on 41 as well. As the 14, he's hitting pit road after that damage. But now the second group here, again, they still are holding pretty steady with what they've been doing. And the one thing that could actually bode well for these guys, if you're the 1 in the 3 car, you're coming up on your teammate in that 071. So as they say, there he goes right now. So they might be able to get that third car, be able to really push that line a little further right now. But I mean, we've got 29 to go, so I think basically there's going to be one more pit stop in this race, so they got to make sure that they nail it.
Oh, they are ever so close. They're still running a second faster.
Yeah, I said a lot of times.
Even 2 by 2.
Yeah, I say they are hauling the mail right now. You're right, Matt. I say it was a 45.16 to a 45.81 with Michael Spell. Say Michael now closing the gap as well. So really, I think these guys. I think you see it right now with the 1 car, at least for the moment. I think Gabe said, you know what? If we just stay with these guys, we just do what we're doing now, like they're doing here. They're going to catch him because I mean, there's Skylar there. You've also got the 29 that I didn't even notice there of Nick Manfredi. Nick is 1 lap down at the moment. The first car 1 down. And again, Eric right now 2 down after the his being off cycle. We mentioned that a little earlier as well. So, but yeah, we're about to have again about 12 cars back in this lead pack, as Michael Spell this time by runs 1.4 seconds quicker than our leaders.
That second group,
they're there.
First group, they're there.
So we'll see, does Michael Spell, does he take the momentum to the top, or does he just roll out of the throttle? And well, here's our first answer. He's going to peek to the outside of Nick Manfredi as they go down the back stretch. And you see the 10 of Skylar Brown thinking about maybe trying to lead that pack, but look at the momentum that Michael has. I think now opted to roll out of theirs. I think just maybe a little bit of a dangerous position to be in. But yeah, so that's going to bring all of these guys back into it. So now we've got 12 cars back onto the this lead pack here. So I'll say it's all to play for here as we got 26 to go.
my next question is, can Bud Steele make it the rest of the race on fuel?
That's a great question. Yeah, so Bud pitted on lap 35. And actually, it wasn't that long of a difference because Gabe Butler, Bobby Hash, and Raymond Rittenauer, of course, unfortunately, Raymond's off the draft now with that contact that we saw. They pitted on lap 36, so only the one lap later. So based on that, I mean, you would think they would have not pitted to put themselves out of the window. So I feel like based on that, the 6 car, and he's been saving this whole run as well. I shouldn't say saving, because he was actually trying to push Michael Spell up there. And actually, here they come. This is too early, actually, though. You get the 3 and the 1 right now coming in at 25 to go here. This surprises me that they're coming in this early, Matt, because I don't think there's no way they can make it from here.
No, I don't think so. It usually it'll be about, max I ever tried here was 24 laps. And that's, hell, even the other Matt couldn't even do.
Yeah, say
Fuel Extraordinaire couldn't do 25 laps.
Yeah, I'll say Mr. Fuel Mileage Matt Quick, I don't think he could pull that number off either. So I'm a little surprised by that. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on here. Maybe they don't think anybody possibly can make it, but I'm not certain. I'll say it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out here. Because I think what is going to happen though is, unfortunately, I think this will put them both a lap down here. We'll watch right now. Right now they're in the middle of 1 and 2, trying to get the cars wound back up right now. But yeah, so now here comes Todd Merkel though. He's going to work to the top here. Just couldn't quite clear the 45 there, Todd Siebels. But he's going to get a great push off of 2 from the 55 of Dean Wilkinson. And you're going to see down there on the apron, there's the 3, there's the 1, as the leader's going to swing on by there. Oh, you see 1 jump to the apron there, the 21, maybe not realizing that's where they were going to come out. But it looks like they're going to just barely clear all of that mess. But this has been a little bit more kind of riled up or dicey, if you will. As here comes Bud Steele. He's coming in with Nick Manfredi. Same thing for these guys. They're pitting at 23 to go. Again, I don't think that's enough. I don't think they can make it to the end. And so now I'm looking at Todd Siebels and company. They went to lap 41, Matt. That might be enough to make it to the end from here.
I think it will be enough too. It'll be really close if they got to save.
Yeah, the pit strategy has been definitely an odd one tonight for sure, but right now we've got a good battle up front here between the 2 and the 45. And you can see again the 071 Eric Lloyd not giving up here, trying to see if he can get himself back into this lead fight, as well as he needs to get one of those laps back, and he's going to have some friends coming to his inside. I thought he would maybe try to be the ones to lead that pack, but he's opted not to. It's going to be Gabe Butler, Bobby Hash, and they're going to take a huge round of momentum here straight to the top. And it looks like they're going to clear these guys entering 1, so put the 1 and the 3 back on the tail end of the lead lap. That's a huge thing that they need to get taken care of there, because you do not want to risk getting trapped a lap down there. So big move by those guys to put themselves back in a good spot there, as now they're going to be just on the tail end of the lead lap here with 22 to go.
They ran a 44.4. That is smoking.
And you can see, I mean, they're building a gap on these cars behind them. I'm almost wondering, are these guys backing the pace off maybe, Matt, to try to make sure they can make it to the end on one stop? Because right now you see nobody's coming in this time, so I think right now everybody's planning on trying to stretch it to the end. But yeah, very interesting kind of the way everything's kind of unfolding here.
Who knows? They can prove me wrong. You know, I've been proven wrong lots of times, so we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible, but the fuel numbers, I mean, the numbers just don't add. Usually the fuel mileage here is much worse than Daytona and Talladega, and even there it's usually in the 23, 24 range, so I'm not sure about this. But you can see, though, once they've gotten to the front here, everybody's just kind of hopped in behind them. Again, I think probably for like Todd Merkel, Todd Siebels, like, hey, man, this is a good time to save some fuel here. Let's just cruise here and do what we can. As again, you see nobody coming into pit here, and I mean, we're coming around. This time's going to be 20 to go, and I think at this point 20 laps on fuel is definitely doable. So I think at this point these guys can for sure make it to the end. I just don't think there's any way that the 1 and the 3 can make it to the end on fuel, based on the numbers that we've been seeing throughout the season, unless possibly maybe the fuel numbers for tonight were different than usual, but there's nothing brought to my attention about that, so I'm not sure there. Yep, here
21.
comes Todd
Yep,
Merkel.
here they
He's
come.
going to be the first, and he's going to bring...
right in the wall.
Michael Spill, a brutal hit to the wall.
Oh,
He's
no,
going
he
to collect
takes the 21.
Yeah, another hard hit for Michael. Yeah, it's just bad to worse, and almost another set of contacts. So, unfortunate for Michael. I don't know if he's used a fast repair now. But that was a brutal hit on the pit entry. Unfortunately for Tom Pritchard, he gets caught up in that as well. So it's going to be basically right now the 2 and the 51. They need to be right in sync with one another, hitting their pit stops to be able to have a good chance at this one tonight. So we'll keep an eye on them right now. Up front, though, Todd Siebels again. They pitted later, so they can go a little further here. As you see, here comes Eric Laurie again, trying to see if he can get around these guys, get himself on the tail end of the one down, I should say, actually, as he's just going to clear. He's either going to work around Raymond Rittenauer, but they're going to stay out another lap here. So, but look at the 071, though. He is going to put himself now back to just 1 lap down. Again, very critical for him to be in a chance to be able to be in a good position tonight.
My dark horse pick is looking pretty good there, Gael.
That it is. I'll say it's going to be interesting to see where. I'll say it just depends for Bud Steele. Can he make it all the way to the end? You see there, just got around the 2 of Todd Merkel, just getting around Jim Brooks. For Jim, if he can tag onto the back of this draft group, that's going to be huge for his chances to have a chance at this win. It looks like he's going to probably have to fall back to the 2 car, though, of Todd Merkel. Like I said, they need to work together to have a good chance at this one. But right now, though, we got to watch these 3 up front here. When do they pit? Here they come now, actually, Matt. It's going to be Dean Wilkinson, Dave Thatcher, Todd Siebels. We've seen Pit Road bite a lot of drivers tonight. So far, so good. Looks like they all got a little hot on entry, but I think they're going to be okay with that. So we're going to see where this all cycles around to, because right now it's going to show, actually, I was going to say it's going to show Skylar Brown as our race leader, but he's just now leaving pit road on the 10 car. You're going to see everybody fly by him, which could put the 1 and the 3 car now to the point. As you can see, everybody's kind of, again, trying to move around, trying to get some clean air and work around these cars that are building up speed coming out of the pits. But I believe once the pit stops cycle through, it's going to be the 1 and the 3 as our race leaders. But I don't think they can make it to the end.
Buzz Steele is in a great spot here. I agree with you, Gael. I don't think they're going to make it to the end. 25 is really pushing, especially if you're the car leading.
And I say the one thing for Bud, though, is he did pit 2 laps later than Bobby and Gabe, so maybe there's some potential there. And yeah, you can see there goes the 1 car. He does take the lead here as things run, as we got 17 to go. Let's say we'll let everybody cycle through and see where everybody comes out in relation. But right now, actually, I just seen Todd Siebels jumping to the pits. That's another big mistake here. I'm not sure what happened to Todd. Let's see if we can find out what happened there. We're going to go back and we're going to watch this 45 car.
Oh, no.
I think he's still in pit road. Is this... Yeah, something's going on with the 45 of Todd Siebels. I'm not sure what it was. Let me see if I can find any. I don't ever see him exiting the pits.
I think he got caught speeding.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's leaving pit road now, but he was third in points, I should say, coming to tonight. So right now, all the championship competitors all having various issues throughout the evening here. So right now, like I said, you've got Gabe Butler and Bobby Hash leading the field. I don't think they can make it to the end. We'll have to wait and see. I could be wrong. I've been proven wrong before. And then you've got Eric Laurie right now, who is 1 lap down. And then you got Bud Steele sitting in the 4th position. And the thing is, they've got a nice buffer right now. They got about 5 seconds now over Skylar Brown. And the thing is, for these guys, I don't think they realize that Skylar, I think, still has some nose damage to that 10 car. Maybe not as much as it did previously. I feel like I still see a little crinkle to it. But, I mean, if any nose damage is going to hurt that top end speed. So he's probably not the car you want leading the pack here. But right now, leaders are running in the 44s. These guys are running in the 45, so about a full second slower. So man, this is pretty crazy right now. I say we'll have to see what the numbers are all looking like. But up here they come. Actually, Gabe Butler, Bobby Hash. We just talked about it. They're gonna hit pit road right now. This is at 15 to go. The 3 of them coming in. I think this is for sure now their final stop here to be able to make it to the end.
Oh, I left my boy Bud Steele. Yeah,
I say Bud's going to be a very lonely man and a very fuel fuel-starved man as well, because he's got nobody around him trying to save fuel, and he might, if he can here, maybe just roll out of it here, fall behind the 59 possibly. But what this might do, though, is I say here comes that group behind you. See, I think they realize that there goes Dean Wilkinson. Now he's taking over the point. You see the 10 car actually not really even able to keep the draft. I think they realized he did not have the pace they were hoping for. So that's going to now, I do need to mention the 3 and the 1.
Oh, he's hitting.
Yeah, I think he had to. I don't think he had enough to make it to the end. So I think right now this might be the battle for the win as things run, unless of course a caution comes out that'll change everything. But I think right now these are the guys that are in prime position to win this race, which right now are the 5 drivers: Dean Wilkinson, Jim Brooks, Todd Merkel, Dave Thatcher, and Skylar Brown, because they've got a huge gap over the group behind them of Bud Steele. Well, actually now Mark Brown. So he can also make it, but I mean, look at the interval that they have between them. And then we mentioned Todd Siebels. He's now in 12th position with all of that going on. So look at the guys that pitted here. Bobby Hash. Bobby had a great pit stop. He's actually still in front of these guys. Gabe Butler, though, he got trapped behind these guys. He's actually right now back a lap down, so he's going to have to do kind of that same power move we saw earlier. Looks like he's going to pick up the 071 of Eric Laurie, and that's going to be a good combo for these guys. See if they can try to hook back up and get Gabe back onto the lead lap. Because right now he is the first car one down, but you never want to be on the tail end. You never want to risk basically getting put back down a lap down.
Oh, no. I wonder if Todd, Jim Brooks, and our leaders have enough fuel to make it. So far, Gabe Butler has proved me wrong.
I mean, I would have to think so, but I'm watching right now. You see Dean Wilkinson. He actually just gave up the lead here. Is maybe Dean now going into fuel save mode? I really thought that at those guys pitting at lap number 20, or with 20 to go or so, that they could easily make it no problem. But now they've got me second guessing myself too, with some of these guys dropping back the way they are. So we'll have to see here, because right now you see you got the 3 car there. So that's going to be Kevin, or sorry, I'm mixing up hashes now. Bobby Hash in 3 car. But then you've got the 6 of Bud Steele right now. He's actually the first car one down in that 6 car, so he's in the lucky dog position. That's going to be the next fight here, Matt, because again, if a caution comes out, you want to be either that first car or on the tail end. So say this is in a really tricky position here. So right now, Bud Steele, he is in that lucky dog spot with only 7 cars on the lead lap currently. So we're getting some insider info on YouTube that they feel pretty confident that the rest of the field is going to have to stop one more time, because otherwise he does not feel like the 1 and the 071 and company would have pitted when they did. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all pans out. But like you said, though, that 6 of Bud Steele, he's on the same strategy as these guys, and he's right with them as well. So we're going to have to wait and see. As there goes the 1. He's going to jump to the outside of that 59 here of Jay Hilliard. Let's say they want to try to clear him as quick as possible, of course, to be able to try to get to the outside of that 51. But look at, there's the 6 of Bud Steele. He wants to be the first one to lead that pack. He's going to jump to the outside. So I think he's going to try to force these guys to have to work with him if they want to get to the tail end of that lead lap.
I'm quite interested to see if they can make it or not.
I think that's the question. Like I said, I feel like the fact that the 55 of Dean Wilkinson is giving up the lead, to me, says there's some fuel mileage thoughts here. And that's the thing too, is I mean, if you let's say you're 3/4 of a lap to the good, or maybe I should say if you're a quarter of a lap short of fuel, that's enough to be able to coast to the finish and probably still sneak out a win as fast as long as these pit stops are, with the pit speed being 65 miles an hour, and on track these guys are going about 240. So there's a lot to play for. But you see right there, here comes the big move. We see once again the 1, the 3, and the 6 are going to put themselves all back on the tail end of the lead lap. Eric Laurie, I think, trying to tag onto this group as well. And again, I don't see a huge fight being put up from these guys behind. So I really think all of our leaders right now, being the 51 of Jim Brooks, I think these guys are all on fuel conservation mode, trying to see if they can stretch it these extra 8 laps or so. This is going to be interesting, but right now, if they pit though, that 1 and the 3, they are in a good, and the 6, I should say, apologies, Bud, or yeah, Bud, they are in a prime position here, Matt.
I'm riding along with Merkel here, and he is max fuel save.
So we're going to hop on board as well. We'll listen into that 2 car. Yeah, I mean, you can tell there's not much saving you can do in these cars. I mean, you can't really lift, you can't really coast. I mean, you can see he's pretty much you can see the tack there already in the red, because that's just, these cars are just so maxed out on the RPMs as well. So yeah, this is going to be very, very intriguing to see how this is all going to pan out. Like I said, right now, the one thing that Jim's got going for him is he's got these 3 in front of him to be able to draft off of, maybe try to save a little bit of extra fuel. You kind of wonder, okay, I'm looking actually, who's the last to pit? And that's Dave Thatcher, Dean Wilkinson. They pitted on lap number 58, so we got to go to, what did we say? We got to go to 75. That's still, what, 20? No, that's 20, like
27 laps.
No, that can't be right. It's dangerous of trying to do math while broadcasting. I apologize for those that are way better at me on fuel. However, we're getting more insider info. He feels like the leaders are still going to be short on fuel, so that could mean we might be seeing splashes of fuel for our leaders as well. So if that's the case, I mean, that could put it back into the hands of that 1 and the 3 and the 6. So we'll have to see. I think these guys are going to stretch it as far as they can. You see the 59 there of Jay Hilliard. He's hitting pit road. However, he is 2 laps down, unfortunately. So it's not a lead lap position there. So yeah, so this is getting pretty wild right now.
5 to go. We're gonna know here in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, we're gonna find out very, very soon. Yeah, so but yeah, based on YouTube though, everybody's saying that they can make it to, or they cannot make it to the end, I should say. It includes favorite son that's telling me that as well. So as like I said, we got teammates from one side, teammates from the other side of who can make it, who can't make it. At the moment, sounds like leaders might be 1 lap short. Oh, you see the 19 on the apron there, got a little bit of bobble, everybody able to get through cleanly. But the question now is, can anybody save a lap of fuel, or can they coast? Let's say, again, if they're a half a lap short of fuel, could they coast that amount to be able to make it and still get out in front of these guys? Because again, these are 44, 45-second laps, Matt. I mean, could you coast that far and still hang on to lead? If, like I said, if it's maybe a half a lap short, depending on how close they're cutting it.
With that progressive banking, I think that's actually really going to slow them down when they go through that banking. If they're going to, if they make their way onto the apron, they might be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Like I said, right now, let's say again, you see the 3 in front of them, the 1, the 3, and the 6. These drivers are all on the tail end of the lead lap here. Jim Brooks is our race leader, but it sounds like all of these drivers are 1 lap short. I feel like Todd Merkel and Jim Brooks, they pit on the 56. There's probably no way they can make it to the end if that's the case. But then, I mean, right now we're at 3 to go. So, I mean, if Jim and Todd, if they can make it to 2 to go here, Dean and Dave, they pitted 2 laps later. That should get them right to the checkered, in my opinion. So, and I'm watching these guys, and I think Dave has been really playing the fuel mileage all race long in that 420 car. I'm saying one of these 2 is going to stay out, Matt. I think one of them is going to risk it. So we're going to see here. Again, we're going to watch the 51, see if he ducks in this time around. And yet here he comes. He's bringing the 2 in with him. That's okay. So that's coming to 2 to go, though, Matt. They pitted 2 laps earlier than Dave and Dean. So in my poor math abilities, I think that the 55 and the 420 are right on the edge of making it to the end of the field. I mean, if I'm Dean Wilkinson, I think I take the gamble, because right now, if you don't, you've got the 1 and the 3 and the 6 here that are going to probably wind up finishing ahead of you guys. I don't know. To me, I think it's worth a gamble, but I'm not behind the seat of these cars.
Looks like the 2 took too much fuel. Let's put Jim by himself.
So we'll see. So we're going to take the white flag here. If nothing happens before these last little bit here, we are on the final lap of the race. Again, right now our race leader is Dean Wilkinson, but can he stretch it to the end? Can he make it? You can see right now he hasn't backed off a lot. So it's basically now, can these cars stretch this little bit to the end? I mean, they might be sputtering, but they might be able to make it. So we're watching the 55, we're watching the 42 of Dave Thatcher. Do either of them sputter? Which one could maybe make it the furthest? Because again, Matt, they're already halfway across the line here. You see Todd Merkel trying to get back up to speed. You got everybody trying to find which way around him. But man, coming out into three. Oh, you're right. Dean looks like he's losing the pace a little bit. Let's watch Dave Thatcher now.
No, he's back on it.
He's going to work the mileage here, Matt. Dean Wilkinson going to get the win at iRacing Superspeedway. Dave Thatcher going to grab second position in that number 420 car. They made the fuel numbers work tonight. They were able to go those extra 2 laps. So we'll see now who's in that third position. Right now it's showing as the number 10 here of Skylar Brown. Skylar does not look up to speed right now. We're going to keep an eye on Skylar because let's say he's going to have a hard charging Gabe Butler, Bobby Hash, and Bud Steele, and they are closing this gap and quickly. We're going to watch off the back of that car is coasting right now. He tried to stretch it. He was 1 lap short. Oh, he was clutching. You see he's back on the throttle. He might be able to pull off a third place finish here. It is going to be tight though as he works his way through.
Yep. Barely crossed
just
the line.
There's Bobby Hash trying to make a move. Unfortunately, gets into the back of him. So it's going to be Skylar Brown who gets a third place finish before getting demolished there at the end. Gabe Butler, he's going to somehow find a way to finish in fourth, but it's going to be Dean Wilkinson. You can see, I think, try to see if he could get enough for. Actually, he's got some fuel here to still do some burnouts. You got Dave Thatcher celebrating as well. These guys got fuel to spare, Matt.
Wow. I thought he was sputtering across the line because I heard him lift really hard coming out of turn 4. And that was amazing. Just amazing job.
That's a wild fuel mileage finish there at the end. But like I said, you see the 420, you see the 55. They had fuel to spare there. They were celebrating. They were doing burnouts. And then again, Skylar Brown, he worked the fuel numbers just enough there. He was able to stretch it to the end. If this was like a Talladega, if that start-finish line was a little bit further towards turn number one, that's going to be Gabe Butler, I think, being able to snag that third position from him. So what a wild one tonight here at iRacing Superspeedway. So we're going to see, we're going to hunt down some drivers. Yeah, we got Skylar Brown, so we're going to start with him. Let's pull up that number 10 machine. All right, so we're going to start things off, Matt, with our third place finisher in that number 10 of Skylar Brown. So we're going to pull Skylar on in here. You were one of my dark horse picks for tonight. Basically, we're saying we know some of the series regulars, but I know on my side, whenever we saw you race here or on the Thursday series, say you were one of ours and Dale's picks almost week in, week out to think that we'd see you get a win or be in contention for these races. But I mean, this one is kind of crazy. I say we saw a lot of crazy stuff happening. Sometimes, I say we'd see incidents. Yellows didn't come out. Saw a lot of pit road drama. Unfortunately, you were involved in one of them that really kind of set you back. And then you went for that fuel strategy. And I mean, that start finish line looks like it couldn't have come soon enough for you there at the end.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It started there with that. I don't know what happened on that pit road incident there. I just know that we were coming around and nobody said anything about pitting, and then all of a sudden people were cranking right or cranking left. I mean, and yeah, I don't know. I got hit from behind and had to use a pit repair, but then caution came out, so that really helps. And then yeah, I wish I could have maybe made it one more lap before on that one green flag stop we had, because I had a feeling it was going to be close. And then I clutched it for about 5 or 6 corners so I could make it, and I ran out coming out of turn 4. And yeah, I barely made it. Like, I couldn't have timed that any better. I wish I could have made it on fuel maybe, but that was pretty cool to be able to barely get that third place.
Yeah, so the timing of those yellows, and like you said, it definitely made it very interesting. We saw a lot of different plans. Let's say, obviously, you were able to go all the way to 57 before you pitted, then Dean and Dave to 58. And we saw some drivers, they kind of thought nobody could make it, so they went ahead and they short pitted and tried to basically kind of take the minimum amount of fuel on the 2 set of pit stops. Others basically stretching as far as they could before they had to pit at the end. I mean, how did you and your teammates, did you have any kind of set plan, like, okay, we think this is going to be the way to go? Or was it pretty much just kind of play it by kind of seat of your pants and see how things were going to shake out?
I'm gonna be honest. I had zero pit strategy. I just kind of pitted when everybody else did, and then I really didn't know how many laps I could make it. I don't have any of the special crew chief stuff everybody else has. So, but somebody said, I think Jim Brooks said there's 17 laps you can make it. So I knew that. He said that like later on in the race. So I knew that before the last pit stop, and I kind of just I could have maybe stretched it one more lap before that final pit stop, but I didn't want to get left out by myself and not have anybody to draft with, because that's a pretty big deal when you come off pit road. And but yeah, not really much pit strategy. Just kind of worked out, and then I was just paying attention to how much fuel I had there at the end, and was clutching it through the corners, and was hoping I could. I was determined to not pit that last time and make it all the way and see what would happen.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, so you pretty much put it to perfection there to make it there, to just, like I said, just to be able to hold off the hard charging, the 1, the 3, and the 6 there with a huge head of steam at the end. So unfortunately, I'd say you kind of met one of them right after the start finish line, but I mean, that was like I said, it was a great job. We were hopping on board to listen to your car. We heard the motor off in 3, but then when you got out of 4, we could hear you put the power back down, like you said, clutching it through the turns to try to save any little ounce you could. And I think you nailed it to perfection, or just to have just enough there to make it to the end to hold on to that 3rd place. So, yeah, so it's great to have you back. I was saying, obviously, a great way to get things started off as well. So, yeah, I definitely want to give you the floor here, though, Skylar. Any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that 3rd place run tonight?
Thank you. Just you guys for broadcasting, and Area 51 for putting on the races. It's always a fun time when I show up, and hopefully I can do it more often. Just got kind of busy there, but hopefully you'll see me back around more.
Sounds good. So yeah, I definitely always enjoy having you. I know we definitely have some bias in the booth in some various races. Everybody rooting for you. So say look forward to seeing you on the track some more, hopefully. And say obviously not too much left in this season, but hopefully we'll see you next season and see what's in store for us on that one.
For sure. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Excellent job, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
All right, Matt. Now we got to switch over to the 420 of Dave Thatcher. Say Dave, one of those that made the fuel number work to perfection. So we're going to pull Dave on in here. And man, we were racking our brains there. We didn't know who was going to make it, who could, who couldn't. We saw that you and Dean went 2 laps longer than Jim Brooks and Todd Merkel. And so I'll say, me being not the math whiz that I am, I was like, well, if they pitted with 2 to go, you guys pitted 2 laps later, you guys are looking pretty good. I mean, how aggressive did you have to be towards the end of that race to be able to make it on those final 2 stops, to basically make it to avoid that final pit stop to kind of get you in that sequence? Because I say it was definitely a lot of stuff going on during that race with some contact, sometimes cautions coming out, sometimes they didn't come out, and it was a lot to be able to manage, it seemed like, tonight.
Yeah, it was very difficult. I mean, basically all we did was try to ride and save fuel the whole time, and then run it till it was almost out. I think actually one of our teammates, Todd, he ran out going into the pits. That's how close it was every time. So, I mean, that's what made the difference. And then those last 10 laps we were saving. We were riding behind everybody just to save as much fuel as possible because we knew it was going to be very close.
Yeah, so then you guys made it look easy, seeing you guys doing burnouts on the front stretch afterwards. It's like kind of rub salt in the wounds of those that weren't able to make it on that final stop. But I mean, you guys played the strategy to perfection. It seemed like a lot of drivers were skeptical that anybody could make it. So I think that's why we saw some of those mixed bags on when to pit or not to. But I mean, yeah, you and Dean, you guys played it to perfection. Were there any thoughts on your end where you maybe trying to see if you could kind of time it right and get a big run on Dean to try to see if you could snag the win yourself, or was that more of just kind of work with your teammates and try to see, just make sure you guys kind of solidify the results for each other?
Yeah, basically, I mean, I could have stayed ahead of Dean, and like I said, I moved up a lane to let him go because he's going for a championship, So, and he's my teammate all the way, so, I was just focused on getting him to win.
I mean, go ahead, Matt.
Very well. I'm sorry. I respect that very well, but if the roles were reversed, I think Dean would do the same for you.
Oh, absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of, I mean, we've seen how important the team aspect is in this series. And I was saying, and that's what it boils down to. And like I said, I mean, Dean was 3rd in points going into tonight. He's going to definitely close the gap, getting that win this evening as well. And I say it's not all lost for you as well, Dave. I say actually looks like you're going to be the highest climber for tonight. 16 spots gained throughout the course of the race. So I mean, hats off to you there as well. But I mean, yeah, just way to go. I mean, you guys obviously had plenty of pace when you needed it, but like you said, played the strategy to perfection, which is honestly at times it's a harder thing to do, to be able to kind of manage your pace, keep the draft, and kind of be able to do that over the course of a couple fuel runs. So just hats off to you on that awesome second place run tonight. But definitely want to give you the floor here, sir. Any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for that second place tonight?
Yeah, just for our team, TW Motorsports, which we run every night. And my teammate Dean, who's going for the championship. And I want to thank you guys and Area 51, Charles and Jim. They do a wonderful job, and everyone else that participates in here. Very good drivers. It's fun to race in here.
Yeah, you guys put on really good shows week in and week out. So yeah, so enjoy this one. So I'm sure we'll have a very happy teammate here. We'll get to interview shortly. And I say we got now 3 down, 1 to go next week at Talladega. So say good luck over there, and look forward to try to get another top 3 interview with you here.
Yeah, that would be excellent to end the season on that note. That'd be great. We're going to try. We're going to get a little bit more aggressive next week.
And for a great job tonight, Dave, on that second place run. And I'll say we'll catch you next week.
All right. Thanks again, guys. You do a wonderful job.
All right. That's our second place finisher, Dave Thatcher, which leads us now to our race winner in that number 55 machine of Dean Wilkinson. I say Dean got his first win in the season a few races ago. He's going to pick up a second one tonight. I say this one a little bit more strategy involved, Dean. I say the last one, you say you just kind of had to go and outrun the field. I mean, take us through that one tonight. I say you and Dave, I say working the field numbers to perfection there. Say we kind of saw when everybody started ducking off, we started getting a little skeptical. Weren't sure if and who could make it. But I mean, you and Dave, you guys made it to the end and had some despair to do some celebrations there. I mean, just take us through the strategy, and I mean, how much did you have to commit to that throughout the course of that run to be able to stretch it all the way to the finish?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same as like Dave said. We just saved throughout the race. There was a time I wanted to get to the front near the end there just to be, racy, but then you saw me pull out and go to the back, because I'm like, if I do that, I'm going to run out of gas. So I'm glad I did, because I just had enough gas. You saw me at the line. I didn't even have enough to do a burnout.
Yeah, so that was there was the point, where we caught that we saw you leading the pack, and it's like, man, I don't think Dean would roll out of the lead if he's not got something under his sleeves there. And so, I mean, like I said, we were talking to some of the drivers, and then some of the teammates in the YouTube chat supporting us here on Green White Checkered. And I mean, they're saying, a lot of people are saying, no, there's no way, nobody can make it. That's why some people pitted when they did, things of that nature. But you and Dave, I mean, you worked the numbers to perfection there to be able to grab that. And of course, the big thing for you is that's going to be a big jump for you tonight in the points as well, because that was pretty tight going in. I'm saying you're going to gain a little bit on Gabe. Obviously, you're going to get a bunch on Todd. I say he had some issues on his pit stops, I believe it was. So I mean, I'm sure that's going to feel good going into that finale.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so with that, are there any game plans there? Or is it just going to be kind of one of those, just take the race as it comes and see how things unfold, or are you and your teammates going to be trying to kind of build a strategy for how you want to try to run next week for the finale at Talladega?
I'll be honest. Strategize is not my forte. I don't do any strategizing. I just race clean, race hard, and a lot of luck on my side, I think. And and these guys here, TW Motorsports, are a good team to be working with as well.
Yeah, so you guys definitely worked well tonight to be able to get that 1-2 finish. So hats off to you guys. And yeah, I mean, I'll say awesome job tonight. Good luck for next week. It's gonna be a lot of fun to see you guys battle out there. However, I know last time you won, we didn't get a chance to I didn't give you an opportunity to do any thanks and shout outs, so I'm not going to forget tonight. So I'm giving you the floor here, Dean, and say I definitely want to give you a chance, any thanks, shouts for who's able to get you here to victory lane tonight.
Right on. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for the broadcast, and Area 51 for sure. TW Motorsports, Dave, Todd, Jay. Those guys helped me get up there tonight, so thank you guys.
Say well-earned result tonight, Dean. I say second win of the season. Say Matt, though, I don't know if you have anything you want to run his way before we set him free here.
Oh, I do. He is my favorite driver of this series, and I would like to congratulate you. I can't wait to see the point standings. maybe second, hell, maybe even first.
Hey, I'll take second.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see if we can get the point standings before we hop off air tonight. But yeah, awesome job though tonight, Dean. Enjoy this one, and then say back to business next week for the finale at Talladega. So say yeah, enjoy this one, and then good luck next week, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks. See you next week.
All right, Matt. That is our race winner in that number 55 of Dean Wilkinson. Like I said, second win of the season here. Saying that's not easy to do. I say there's definitely some stout competition throughout here, but you see again we talk about all throughout the season just the unselfishness of teams, and we got that again here this time with TW Motorsports. So just hats off to those guys doing what they needed to do, work the numbers to perfection, getting the win this evening, getting 1-2 finish, I should say, even this evening, and then Skylar Brown just clutching that fuel enough to make it to the end. But yeah, I mean, then you saw that huge head of steam that Gabe and Bobby had with Bud trying to see if they could sneak themselves back up there. But I'll say, honestly, I mean, an off night, I would feel like for the one car, but still brings the home in fourth position. And that's going to be, I feel like, a pretty good result to kind of help the loss, if you will say, because you never want to lose these races, but he's going to be in a pretty good spot going in. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the point side of things, it's going to be a 20-point lead for Gabe Butler over Dean Wilkinson next into the finale. I say that does move Dean up into second. Todd Siebels falls to third, 24 out of lead. And at this point, it is going to be those three that are going to battle out for the title because Raymond Rittenauer sits fourth, 41 points out, and then 42 points out for Eric Laurie, unfortunately, with them getting caught up in those incidents. So it's basically going to be up between the 55, and the 45 for our championship next week.
That is one I will be watching.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. So, for those... Oh, actually, no, you know what? I'm jumping the gun here. We got to go over our final results.
Yes, you do.
I almost forgot to... Last time I forgot to do the shout-outs for Dean. And this time I almost did the results. But here we go. Our final results for tonight. You've got Dean Wilkinson by 0.08 over Dave Thatcher. Skylar Brown in third. But look at the gap there. 44 seconds just shows how much he had to save to be able to make it that extra bit on fuel, and then the extra pit stop for Gabe and Bobby and Bud, still right there behind him, just only a half a second behind, but probably about 150 miles an hour more speed than him. And then Jim Brooks there in that 7th position, also had to top off at 2 to go, but stays on the lead lap. Then you got Todd Merkel, first car one down, Mark Brown, Todd Siebels rounding out our top 10. Then you got Eric Laurie, Raymond Rittenauer, Nick Manfredi, Jay Hilliard, Vicente Guerrero, Tom Pritchard, Mark Mastrella, and Michael Spell rounding out our 18 drivers that were part of the field this evening. But Matt, as always, sir, it is a pleasure having you in the booth with me. I know you've got your own battles to go next week at Indianapolis, our Dark Horse Area 51 Series finale at Indy. And then we'll have you guys get a little bit of a break before we get back into next season a few weeks later on. So it's going to be fun to see you guys battle it out over there.
Yeah, I got to make up 20 points, and that is a lot of points.
Yeah, it's always difficult, but that's the same thing that Dean's going for. So he's got 20 points to make up. So you can be his incentive and see what you can do over there on the Indy side.
Dean, I feel your pain. We'll see what we can do.
But yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight here at Green White Checker TV. Like I said, next week, starting Tuesday, it is championship week. So we've got our season finales on Tuesday for the Dark Horse Area 51 Series, Thursday night for the Premier Series, and then, of course, on 1 week from tonight at Talladega for the Superspeedway Series. So hope you all enjoyed it tonight. It was definitely a wild one. A lot of different things going on tonight. But in the end, it's going to be Dean Wilkinson, Dave Thatcher finishing 1-2 tonight for TW Motorsports. And yeah, Matt, I'll say good luck on Tuesday. I'll be looking forward to being a part of that one. And then we'll see how that championship finishes up over there.
Yeah, hopefully I can talk to you, not as third place, hopefully in victory lane. And hopefully some of those other guys will have bad days. But that's a 1 in a million shot with those two drivers, Nick Gruten and Henry Bennett. So we'll make the best of it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's, like you said, very tough competition out there as well. So until then, though, thank you all so much for watching and supporting us. As I appreciate all the commentary on YouTube as well. Of course, even the peanut gallery over there as well. But yeah, so again, congrats to that 55 and the 420 of Dave Thatcher, our 1-2 finishers tonight. And then good luck again to our top 3 in the points going into that finale. And until then, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and have a good week. And we'll catch you back on Tuesday. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.